जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखम करति वाचलम पंगुलंघयते गिरिं जत्कृपा तमहं वन्दे श्री गुरुदेवतारिणं परमानंद माधव श्री चैतन्य। Welcome everyone for this Utkarsh festival. Hope you are enjoying this festival and hope you are all happy in your life. So I am very happy to be with all of you today. Hope I am audible and you should be visible. That will be very good.
Okay. So all of you,
visible and visible, both are very good combination. So you should put your audio off and video on unless you have some internet issue. So that will be very good. And topic is that how bhakti is very simple. Actually, life should be simple. Simplicity leads to the experience of happiness. So Prabhupada, the founder, Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness, which is popularly known as ISKCON, he said that Krishna consciousness means understanding Krishna. So people become very, what you can say, uncomfortable. Why I have to become Krishna conscious? We have to be conscious because by nature, we are conscious. So Krishna is the name of the Almighty God. Just like we have names, so Lord also have many names because he is unlimited, so he has unlimited names. So primary name of the Lord is Krishna. Same Krishna, who is known by different names. So Krishna consciousness means knowing Krishna, understanding Krishna. It means knowing the Lord, knowing the Almighty, knowing the source of everything. That is Krishna consciousness. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, how we can know him. He says, Bhaktamam Abhijanati. He said, by bhakti, you can know me. There are 4 kinds of yogas which are explained in Bhagavad Gita. Karma yoga, Jnana yoga, Dhyana yoga, Bhakti yoga. Actually, if you study very scrutinizingly and thoroughly, then you can understand that there is only one yoga. That is Bhakti yoga. And different levels of Bhakti yoga are known as Karma yoga, Jnana yoga, Dhyana yoga, then Bhakti yoga. When the understanding of the Supreme Lord is complete, that is known as Bhakti yoga. The purpose is the same. The purpose of Karma yoga, purpose of Jnana yoga, purpose of Dhyana yoga, and purpose of Bhakti yoga. The purpose is to know the Supreme Lord. Why knowing Supreme Lord is very, very important? Because if we know the Supreme Lord, then we know everything. In this world, we have a nature to know things. Because that is the nature of all of us. We want to know. But if we are in darkness, even if we want to see something, we cannot see. To see something, we need light. That's why as soon as sun rises, what happens? We can see the sun, and along with the sun, we can see everything. In the same way, when we know Krishna, when we know the Supreme Lord, then we know everything. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Vedasya Sarver Ahamepa Vedya. The purpose of studying Vedas, purpose of knowledge is to know the Supreme Lord. Because he is the source of all knowledge. He is full of knowledge. That's why Lord is known as Satchidananda. Satchidananda means Sat. Sat means eternal. Chit means full of knowledge. Ananda means full of bliss. That is the spiritual aspect. In the spiritual world, everything is eternal, everything is full of knowledge, and everything is full of bliss. But this world is completely opposite. This world is Asat, Achit, and Nirananda. Asat means temporary. Achit means full of ignorance. If we understand Krishna, then we can experience the happiness. We can experience the bliss which we are hankering for. Because we all want to be happy. But happiness is an experience. Happiness is a journey. So that journey begins with the search to know the absolute truth. It is known as Athatha Brahma Jigyasa. We have so many questions, but the real question of human form of life is to ask that question by which we can solve the problems of our life. Because we want to experience happiness, but there are so many problems on the path of our experience of happiness. So we are so much focused on solving problems. If you ask somebody, what's the goal of your life? Solving problems. That is the goal. Because there are so many problems and we are so much busy in solving problems, we start developing the idea that goal of our life, the purpose of our life is to solve the problem. Because we don't know the real goal of our life. The real goal of our life is to experience the happiness. The real goal of our life is to know who is the source of that happiness. The purpose of our life, goal of our life is to know the process by which we can experience that happiness. And Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita is not a book for a particular sect of people. Bhagavad Gita is a manual of our human form of life. That is very, very important. So, topic today is Bhakti. And Krishna says by Bhakti, we can understand him completely. So, Bhakti is an activity, it's not inaction. And Srila Prabhupada has translated Bhakti as devotional service. Service with devotion. Activity has to be there. Bhakti does not mean that we have to give up anything. Bhakti means adding Krishna in our life. That is Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness does not exclude activities. Krishna consciousness is an inclusive process. That's why Krishna says that whatever you do, jat karosi, jadasnosi, jat jihosi, jadasi jat, jat tapasya kantya, tat kurusha madapanam. Whatever you eat, whatever you do, whatever austerity you perform, whatever you do in your life, do it as an offering to me. Means Krishna has to be connected. That is Krishna consciousness. So that's why it's very simple. So definition of bhakti is also very simple. Sarva upadhi vinirmuktam tatparatara nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhakti uchyate. So what is the definition of bhakti? Rishikena rishikesha sevanam. Seva. You have to engage in service. Of who? Rishikesha. Rishikesha means who is the master of the senses. And who should engage? We, everybody should engage our senses in the service of the master of the senses. That is bhakti. Very simple. Because we have our all senses, 5 working senses, 5 knowledge acquiring senses. And what is the purpose of the senses? To engage the sense, to engage in either in sense gratification or engage in the service of the Supreme Lord. Because senses cannot be inactive. Just like our eyes, we cannot stop seeing things. We cannot stop hearing through our ears. We have to have a hearing process going on in our life. Because we have ears. Ears means you have to hear. With our tongue, we have to taste. With our skin, we have to touch. With our nose, we have to take fragrance. We cannot stop all these activities. Inaction is impracticality. We cannot be inactive because by nature, senses are active. By nature, mind is very, very active. We have to know how to engage it. So when we are engaged, rather when we engage our senses and mind in the service of the Lord, that is known as bhakti. And when the same senses and mind are engaged in sense objects, that is the cause of our bondage. But tendency is same. Tendency is to engage the senses. Tendency is to engage the mind. That tendency is there. But where we are applying that there is a difference. So when we engage the senses and engage the mind in the service of the Lord, that is bhakti. And that process is explained in this 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. That you have to eat. So eat, whatever you want to eat, offer it to the Lord and take that. You want to have some fragrance of the flower, offer it to the Lord and take the fragrance. You want to do some activity, do it as the offering to the Supreme Lord. In that way, everything can be engaged in the service of the Lord. That is called bhakti. So senses have to be engaged. That is the principle. So when it is engaged in the service of the Lord, that is defined as bhakti. Rishikena, Rishikesha, Sevanam, Bhakti, Uchyate. Hope it is clear to you. So now, practically, we like to hear so many things because hearing is a natural tendency. We have 2 ears. What to hear? We have to hear the message of the Supreme Lord in the form of Bhagavad Gita. We have to hear the song related to the Supreme Lord. Whatever is connected to the Supreme Lord should be heard. We don't have to stop hearing. In that way, hearing is engaged. And that is bhakti. Very simple. We have to see through our eyes. So you should see whatever is connected to the Supreme Lord, the beautiful form of the Lord, beautiful abode of the Lord, the movies and whatever are connected with the Lord. So whatever is connected with the Lord can be seen through our eyes. In that way, our eyes are engaged in the service of the Lord. I also explained how our tendency to eat. We don't have to stop eating. We have to eat. But eating has to be done after offering it to the Lord. Patram puspam phalam toyam jome bhakta prajachati. Krishna recommends you don't have to offer a luxurious thing. Simple things you can offer. You don't have to be very rich to do bhakti. You don't have to be very educated to do bhakti. You don't have to be very aristocratic to do bhakti. You don't have to be very handsome to do bhakti. Anybody from any background can do bhakti. That is the beauty of bhakti. Does not require any qualification. What qualification is needed? Just have some shraddha in the heart, have some devotion in the heart. If we have that, then that person can do bhakti. And what is the expression of love? If I love someone, bhakti means loving the Supreme Lord, loving Krishna is known as bhakti. We have a tendency, all of us have a tendency to love someone and to be loved by someone. Because that gives the experience of bliss. That gives the experience of happiness. Material things cannot give us happiness. Material things cannot give us happiness. But some people say, if I have money, then I can be happy. And we think that money can purchase happiness. There is nothing wrong to have money. You can have unlimited amount of money. But if you think by accumulation of unlimited amount of money, you will be unlimitedly happy, that is a misconception. Money cannot buy happiness. Happiness is not a product which can be bought. Bliss cannot be bought. It's not a product. It is the experience of the soul. It is the experience of the heart. That is the point you have to understand. But people think that by money we can buy also happiness. So if that is the truth, then the richest people should be the happiest people, right? So there was a survey done. People from which country are the happiest people? The survey was done, and the survey revealed a very amazing truth, amazing result. The richest country, the people of the richest country are the most unhappy people on the planet. And the people of the one of the poorest country, Bangladesh, they are the happiest people according to that survey. Then from that we can draw a conclusion that by becoming poor you can be happy. Some people have a concept that by becoming rich we can be happy, and some people may say that by becoming poor you can be happy. And in order to resolve this conflict, I tell a story of two ladies, two friends. One is a rich lady, another one is a poor lady. And both of them were having dinner one day. And both of them started crying. The poor lady asked a question to the rich lady that, why are you crying? The rich lady replied, I am crying because I don't have any friend. Then poor lady said, you are telling you don't have any friend, but I always see that you are surrounded by so many people. Wherever you are surrounded by so many people, but you are telling you don't have any friend. Then that lady, rich lady, revealed her heart to her friend that she told, my dear friend, that you think that so many people surrounding me, they are my friends. They are not my friends. They are the friends of my money. Wherever there is honey, there will be honeybees. Honey attracts honeybees. And as soon as honey is finished, there will be no honeybee. In the same way, in this world, those who have power, those who have money, they are like the honey. And people will be surrounding those people. But as soon as power is gone, as soon as money is gone, we cannot see these people also around them. So that rich lady understood that principle. And she said that these people are not my friends. These people are the friends of my money. And I don't trust them. That's why I pray to the Supreme Lord that I should take birth in a poor family in my next life. Then the rich lady asked the poor lady, why are you crying? So poor lady said, I am also crying because I don't have also any friend. And at least you have some people surrounding you, but I don't have that also. Because if you don't have money, nobody cares. Money talks. So I don't have any money. That's why nobody cares for me. Nobody is there in my life also. So I pray to the Lord that, my dear Lord, that I want to take birth in a rich family in my next life. So now question may arise, whether we should be taking birth in rich family or whether we should take birth in poor family. But I'll tell you another principle, higher principle. What is the higher principle? That in this world, everybody is poor. It's a very strong statement, but this is a real statement. Everybody in this world is poor. Why? Because they only have money. Then who is rich? Richness of a person can be determined how many things he has which money cannot buy. If I have something which money cannot buy, then I am rich. If I shed a tear from my eyes, who is there to come to me and take off that tear? That is the proof how much rich I am. So richness is about relationship. Richness is about character, qualities in our life. And the most important wealth which a person can have is the wealth of bhakti, because it is eternal by nature. Other riches, other wealth, other properties of this world, these are all temporary by nature. It can be taken away during my lifetime, our lifetime, or it can be taken away definitely at the time of our death. Everything will be taken away. When you die, nothing is going to go with us. It's a simple truth. We never came with a checkbook or credit card or debit card, and we are not going to carry any debit card, credit card when we die. But in between we fight. This journey in between. What is the journey? Journey is from womb to tomb. From the mother's womb to the crematorium. That is our journey. But we fight so much for that journey, knowing that our journey is going to end, and it can end at any point of time. But still we fight. Why? Because we don't have the knowledge. That's why having knowledge from Bhagavad Gita is very, very important in order to guide our life properly. Knowledge is light. Ignorance is darkness. So when we have the light of knowledge from Bhagavad Gita, then we can see things properly. Then we can also move properly. So our journey will be a proper journey when our journey is guided by the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, because it gives light in our life. So Bhagavad Gita is the guiding principle in our life. It's like the manual of our life. It's like the sun in our life. So with that, we know that doing bhakti is the goal of our life. So therefore, we should do bhakti. By karma, we can know the Supreme Lord little bit. By jnana, we can know the Supreme Lord little better. By yoga, we can know the Supreme Lord little more better. But by bhakti, we can know the Supreme Lord completely. That's why process of bhakti is complete. Because by bhakti, we can know the Supreme Lord completely. That's why Krishna recommends, Bhakta Mam Abhijanati. By doing bhakti, you can know me. And he also recommends how to do that bhakti. Bhakti is an activity, multiple activities. It's not inaction. And it is also very simple. Anybody can do it. Anywhere it can be done. In any situation it can be done. And in Kali Yuga, in this present age, this bhakti has been more simplified by the advent of the Supreme Lord, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who advented in Bengal more than 500 years ago and established this bhakti movement. And how we can do this bhakti? As given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the process is very simple. Chanting the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Very simple. Mantra. Mahamantra. Mahamantra means this mantra is the mother of all mantras. If you chant this mantra, everything will be achieved. So chanting this Mahamantra is very simple. You don't need to be rich. You don't need to be beautiful. You don't need to be aristocratic. You don't need to be educated. Anybody can chant this mantra, right or wrong. But this is the most valuable gift available to us in this modern age, in this human form of life. By chanting Mahamantra, we also are involved in meditation because we are so much interested in meditation, concentration of the mind. But chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra is a very, very simple way to concentrate our mind. It's a very, very simple way to meditate on the Supreme Lord. It is known as mantra meditation. We have to meditate on the sound vibration. We have to hear properly. We have to chant properly, distinctly and properly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. If we chant this mantra, what will happen? Our mind will be focused. Focusing the mind is the purpose of meditation. So when we focus our mind on this mantra, then we achieve the purpose also of the meditation. Is the recommended meditation in this modern age, mantra meditation. Very simple. So Mahaprabhu has given a process. What is the process? Nacho gao bhakta sange karo sankirtan amoni madhur Mahaprabhu bachan. It's a Bengali verse spoken by the Supreme Lord. Nacho gao bhakta sange. What do you have to do? What is the process of bhakti? Nacho, dance. And hopefully you all like to dance, right? Because dancing is the expression of joy. We want to be joyful. So bhakti is the complete expression of that joy, complete experience of that joy. Nacho. Nacho means dance. Gao means sing, but in proper association. We should not dance in disco club. We should chant and dance and sing in the association of saintly people. Saintly people does not mean that they have to be differently dressed. As soon as we talk about sadhus or saintly people, we always imagine that they will have a particular kind of dress code, hairstyle, all this kind of thing. But Arjuna was a sadhu. Arjuna was a saintly person. He was not staying at Himalayas. He was not wearing robes. He was the king. He was a young man. He was a married man. He was a successful man. Still he is a sadhu, saintly person. Why? What is the meaning of saintly person? Who follows the instruction of the Supreme Lord. When we lead our life according to the teachings, according to the instruction of the Supreme Lord, That is the meaning of saintly life. Saintly life means following the injunction of the Supreme Lord. When someone does not follow the injunction of the Supreme Lord, that is demoniac life. When someone follows the instruction of the Supreme Lord, that is saintly life. Arjuna followed the instruction of the Supreme Lord, that's why he is saintly. In the same way, we can be the professionals, we can be the businessman, we can be the corporate executive, we can be the political leader, we can be anything, but still we can be saintly, provided we follow the instruction of the Supreme Lord as given in Bhagavad Gita. That is the understanding. Sthanasthita, you don't have to change your place, you don't have to change your dress, you don't have to change anything, you have to change your consciousness only. That's why it is known as Krishna consciousness. One is bodily consciousness, other one is Krishna consciousness. People in this world are mainly bodily conscious. I am this body, and this body is meant for my enjoyment. That is the bodily consciousness. And how we can enjoy our body? Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. These are 4 primary activities. And if you do it better, we are thinking we are enjoying life. If you are eating very nicely, we are enjoying life. If you are sleeping nicely in a very aristocratic place, we are enjoying life. If you are having sex life in a beautiful place with beautiful partner, our life is full of enjoyment. We can defend ourselves properly. We are having success in our life. This is the definition of success. This is the definition of enjoyment in our life. How to do eating, sleeping, mating, and defending in a better way. Right? But you have to understand, those who are not humans also, they are doing the same activities. For that, they don't have to go to colleges, universities, and working so hard for doing all these activities, naturally available. So what is the intelligence? Intelligence is that we got higher intelligence, means we have some higher purpose of life, higher responsibilities of life. Just like if a top manager in a company gets a lot of facilities. Why? Because he takes responsibility. Facility and responsibility go together. So we got this facility of a human form of life, higher facility we got, it means we must have higher responsibility. You cannot exclude facility from responsibility. But we always focus on facility. Facility without responsibility is not a saintly life. It is non-saintly or demoniac life. There is nothing wrong to have facility, provided we have responsibility. Human life is the life of responsibility. So we can have artha, means we can have values, we can have valuables, we can have so much money, but not at the cost of values. There is nothing wrong to have valuables, but not at the cost of values. But nowadays, in order to accumulate valuables, we lose all our values in life. That is not recommended in Bhagavad Gita. That is not responsible life. When we enjoy facility without responsibility, that is against the teachings of the Supreme Lord. And that will lead us to a very degraded or unfortunate future in our life. So Krishna consciousness means you can have the facility, you can have unlimited amount of facilities, provided we are having the responsibilities also. So Krishna consciousness means having responsibility as a human being. And what is the responsibility? The prime responsibility of a human being is to know, who am I? Asking this question is the beginning of our responsibility. We are asking so many questions, but as a human being, we should ask this question, who am I? Am I this body? I am Indian, I am American, I am European, I am a doctor, I am an engineer, I am a professional, I am a political leader. Who am I? I am all of them, one of them, some of them, none of them. Who am I? That is the question. If we get the answer of this question, then our responsibility is taken up. Now I am asking responsible question. We don't want to die. Why you have to die? We don't want to become old. Why you have to become old? These are the questions we should ask in this human form of life. Not that, oh, how to get this job, how to get that job. That is also important, but that is not the primary goal of our life. Primary goal of our life is to know that who am I? So who I was in my previous life and what will happen to me after death. Is anything there beyond death? Is anything was there before my birth? Whether soul exists, God exists. Is there a relationship between the soul and God? Is there any spiritual world where everything is permanent, full of bliss, full of knowledge? These are the questions. And that is the part of bhakti. That is the path given by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna asked all these questions. So responsible life means asking responsible questions. And that will happen when we are in good association. So bhakti, I was describing that nacho gao, bhakta sangi, means we have to be in saintly association. Because a man is known by his company. Whether we develop good habit or bad habit, good qualities, bad quality, good character or bad character, it all depends on our association. Association matters. Very, very powerful. And now we have the opportunity to have bad association very easily. Facilities to have bad association are ample, and it is all at our fingertips. That's why we have to make a choice. I always say that journey began with birth, B, and journey will end at death, D. We don't have any control. We did not have any control in our birth, and we cannot have any control over our death. Jatosya hi dhubhamittu. Those who have taken birth, they have to die. No control. But in between B and D, there is a letter that is called C, making choice. That is very, very important part in our life. That is within our control. Make the right choice. And who can make the right choice? Who is in right association. Right association will help us to make the right choice in our life. So it's very, very important to have good association. So Srila Prabhupada has established this wonderful Hare Krishna movement in order to facilitate this kind of good association. Because bad association is very easily available, but good association is not so easily available. That's why the saintly people, they arrange this good association. Because by good association, our thinking process changes. And we make the right choice. And when we make the right choice, then our life also will become saintly. So the turning point in our life is association of saintly people, which is known as Sadhu Sangha. And Sadhu Sangha is the place of bhakti. In Sadhu Sangha, bhakti is born. We cannot have bhakti without Sadhu Sangha. That's why Nacho Gao Bhakta Sange Karo Sankirtan. Then we have to sing, dance, and eat. and enjoy life in the association of devotees. We don't have to stop anything. People used to ask Prabhupada that, how come your devotees are so happy? He said, obviously they'll be happy because they are always having party. Because we think to be happy, you have to go to the parties, right? Prabhupada said, ISKCON is having party and party begins in the morning. You have morning party, evening party, always you have party. Party means what? Party means singing, dancing. And that happens. So then sumptuous food, everything is available. So why they'll not be happy? So happiness is readily available if we take part in the process of bhakti. Very simple, but very
Hare Krishna, Guruji. I think your signal is not coming, Guruji. We are not able to hear you. Hare Krishna. So, Sankarshan Nitai Prabhuji's signal, I think, is a little less. So, I want to make an announcement till the time Prabhuji comes that all of you can be ready with your questions. Prabhuji will be taking the questions. And tomorrow, very important announcement, the Radhesham Prabhuji session will be at 4 o'clock. Okay, not 4:30, at 4 o'clock till 5:30. Okay, so we are just waiting. As Prabhuji comes, Prabhuji will be again starting his session for all of us. Okay, so Prabhuji's signal is little less. I think Prabhuji will be joining us in a short while. So you can all you can all be ready with your questions, okay, for asking from Prabhuji. Just wait for a few minutes.
Hare Krishna. I'm audible now. I got disconnected because of the internet problem. I'm sorry for that.
Ji Prabhuji, audible.
So where I got disconnected?
You were telling that how morning, evening we have party and how devotees are happy. So
Yeah, then why you got disconnected? We don't know. It was a good thing we're talking. Okay. So everything is perfect in the process of bhakti. Nothing you have to miss. People think, oh, bhakti means you have to miss something. Actually, whatever we are hankering for, that will be available in, what I can say, in an unlimited way when we take part in this process. And process is not complicated, and process is very, very simple, and process does not need any big qualification. Very simple person from any background can take part in this simple process of bhakti and make their life very, very joyful and happy. Because anyway, we want to be happy in our life. So this process gives us happiness during the practice also. In other process, you experience happiness after you get perfect.
Hare Krishna. So Prabhuji, again, I think the signal problem is there. Little bit. We are unable to hear you. Hare Krishna.
I don't know, it's cutting again and again. I don't know.
Ji,
I
we
came
are
back.
able to hear now. Able to hear.
So I'm just, I'll stop now. I think time is over almost.
Prabhuji, would you like to take some question answers?
Yes, I want to take 5 minutes
Okay.
question answer.
Okay. So students, please raise your hand. Till the time I'll ask one question who has come in the chat box. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Can soul do not do bhakti without body? Vishwajit AITH College.
Yeah, but soul is in the body. No, you cannot separate soul and body. We have the body. So how you can do bhakti without soul? Soul can be engaged only through the medium of senses, because we have the senses. So that's why you have to engage our senses in the service of the Lord, and that is known as bhakti.
Does bhakti continue? Thank you, Prabhuji. Does bhakti continue if we are dead in middle?
If what is the question?
Does bhakti continues if we die in middle? We are practicing and if we
Yeah,
die.
bhakti will continue. That is another advantage of bhakti. That if you finish 25%, then you will continue with 26% in your next life. But other process, whatever you do, that will be finished. You have to start fresh. So that is another advantage of doing bhakti. That is also explained by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. It is never lost.
Thank you, Prabhuji. How we check how much we progress in our bhakti and how much left, and what is the criteria for deciding? Vishwadit AITH College.
When you are hungry, so when you eat food, what will happen? You experience happiness by eating that food, and your hunger will go away. So more hunger will go away, more you feel that you are eating nicely. In the same way, bhakti parasana bhava virakti rannatra. So when we experience bhakti, what will happen? That interest for enjoyment in this world slowly will reduce. Because when you get higher taste, naturally you lose the lower taste. So when we experience the higher taste, that is a symptom that we are advancing in bhakti.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Another question from Ayush Singroli. So he's asking, sir, in bhakti, does the graph is exponential or after some time saturation comes?
Depends what kind of bhakti you are doing. It does not saturate. Either you go up or go down. It's a very dynamic process. You cannot stay at one place. Either you advance or go down.
Thank you, Prabhuji. IIT BHU, Himanshu is asking, Prabhuji, if money brings misery, then why we are getting placed in companies with huge package?
Why?
If money is bringing misery, then why we should get placed in companies with huge salary package?
No, we never say that money brings misery. Whether you have money or don't have money, you will have misery only. I never said that money brings misery. Whether you have money or don't have money, life will be miserable. Money is not going to stop your misery. That was the point I am trying to make.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Warangal NIT, Shrikant is asking, how do we know that we have realized the self?
How we realize?
How do we know that we have realized the self?
Okay, so how do I know? How you know? Somebody asked Prabhupada, how do you have seen God? Prabhupada said that if I tell you that I have seen God, what's going to make any difference in your life? So who sees God? He knows this is God. I cannot show you that I have seen God. In the same way, when someone is hungry, when he is eating, how he'll feel? That experience will be with him only, na?
Yes.
So self-realization means God realization also. When we can know God, when we can get connected with the God, and when we experience that God consciousness, then that is a symptom that we are self-realized. And also that attachment of the body will go away. That is also one of the symptoms. Detachment from this material entanglement is one of the symptoms of self-realization.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for answering so nicely questions. There are many questions which are coming. Keshav Biyani is asking, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, how to make sure that we stay in proper consciousness in case most of our family members are not in the right consciousness?
Yeah, so that's why you have to have good association, but it's a very, very practical question. That's why if you have family members, Krishna conscious is very, very easy. If not, then it's not that it cannot be done, it can be done. That's why we have to be very Krishna conscious, and by being Krishna conscious, others will be also motivated and inspired to become Krishna conscious.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Sri Ram Joshi is asking, how to overcome lust?
That was not the topic today though, but still no problem. So, how to overcome the lust? By developing love. When you develop love for the Supreme Lord, naturally you will be free from lust. So how to overcome lust? There is a whole, I cannot give answer in one line, but there is a whole seminar can be given how to overcome lust. But simple formula is, by engaging our senses in the service of the Lord, we can be free from the lusty propensity in due course of time. It's a process.
Thank you. IIT BHU Vishant is asking, is it sure that if one start bhakti but could not complete in one life, then he get human body in the next life?
Yeah, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, he'll get a very high class birth in his future life.
Thank you, Puji. AITH Adarsh is asking, how to maintain continuous enthusiasm in practicing bhakti as many things distract us from the path?
Very simple formula. Always stay with the enthusiastic people.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Chitranjan Baral is asking, if somebody doing bhakti, that is chanting, reading Bhagavad Gita, serving Lord, only for getting material benefits, then can he become a pure devotee or get some spiritual benefit?
Yeah, bhakti is very powerful. Whether you are doing bhakti for material benefit or spiritual benefit, in due course of time, you will be purified. But recommended is that when you do bhakti, your purpose should be spiritual, not material.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Sanjay Bharadwaj from Hyderabad is asking, if one chants 16 rounds and died before getting initiated, does that counted as bhakti?
Yes, bhakti does not depend on only initiation. Initiation is one of the process. But someone who practices Krishna consciousness, even if he is not initiated, he started the bhakti. Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Arpit is asking, how will I in my next life complete my bhakti marg? How will I get into it? How will that process be?
Yeah, that's why it's a whole mystery. So it's not a material science that can be shown to you through projector. That future life you'll get this kind of body, then you'll take birth in this kind of family, and you'll start practice like that. It all depends what level of consciousness you had in while living your body, and accordingly you'll get the opportunity to continue your journey.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Samarth from Warangal is asking, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, what should be our primary goal in bhakti?
Primary goal of bhakti or in bhakti. Bhakti is
bhakti.
primary, and the goal of bhakti is to attain love for the Supreme Lord.
In bhakti.
Why you are doing bhakti? To develop love for Krishna. That is the goal of bhakti.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Nitish Kumar from IIT BHU is asking, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, how to be consistent in bhakti? Like some days we engage so nicely, but other days we become busy or something else, then it is difficult to do everything.
So there are two kinds of bhakti, steady, unsteady. Whatever example you have given, there is unsteady devotional service. When we have many other priorities, many other desires in our heart, our bhakti will be unsteady. And when our heart will be pure, then our bhakti will be steady.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So these are all questions, Prabhuji, for today. One more question have come, Prabhuji. Will you have time for answering?
Yeah, last question.
Okay. So, can we have personal association with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in next life before reaching Goloka?
It all depends on your desire and qualification.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Some more questions are there. Two more questions are there. Is it possible,
Okay,
or
how many are there?
two more have come, Prabhuji.
Okay, completed.
So, Prabhuji, Prince is asking, who is within us which stops us from doing chanting nicely?
Our unearthers within, our unwanted desire within the heart, that stops us.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Ritik is asking, do Kshatriyas used to eat non-veg? If yes, then does it used to affect their bhakti?
You have to understand, you're in Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, there is no kind of system to accept that kind of food. You have to understand that different situation has different kinds of law.
Thank you.
So this kind of question is not relevant in our present situation. In the present Kali Yuga, that consuming non-veg food is not favorable for our human form of life.
Ji. Venkateshwar from Hyderabad is asking, how to overcome three moods of material nature?
Very easy process. It should surrender to the Supreme Lord.
Ji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Himanshu from IIT Kharagpur is asking, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, if we do bhakti in life, but at the time of death, our consciousness is not related to God, but material. So, will we get God conscious family next life?
You are telling two opposite things. How you can be having material consciousness at the same time Krishna consciousness? If you are Krishna conscious, then you will get a Krishna conscious opportunity. If you are materially conscious, you will get material opportunities. Depending on our consciousness, you will get the future opportunity.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Prabhupada used to say in Bengali, Dudo khabo, tamako khabo. It's not going to happen. Means you have to choose whether to drink milk or to chew tobacco. We cannot have both. Material consciousness and spiritual consciousness. You have to choose what consciousness you want. And accordingly, you'll get the opportunity.
Thank you, Prabhuji. MNNIT, Akash is asking, sir, if one can achieve and adopt Krishna consciousness in life, then how will he live in this material need? Material world needs are there.
Can you repeat?
Sir, if one achieve and adopt Krishna consciousness in life, then how he will live in this material world?
I gave so many examples. Arjuna was living in this material world. Right or wrong? You don't have to give up anything. You don't have to say no to anything. You have to add Krishna in your life. That is Krishna consciousness. What is the problem? Thousands and thousands of people are practicing Krishna consciousness all over the world. What's the problem? Don't see my example only. These are very rare species. Most of them are in their own field. They are having their own profession and they are Krishna conscious. It's the change of consciousness within. Nothing is going to change externally except some bad habits. Other than that, everything is same.
Sheenan is asking, does akarma counter both good and bad karma? Veg food also have leaf. Veg food also have leaf that also have life. So does it not count towards bad karma?
Yeah, that's why Krishna has said that it should be offered to the Lord. Vegetarian food should be offered to the Lord and that becomes sanctified, pure vegetarian food that is free from karma. That is free from sin. Vegetarian food has less karma than non-vegetarian food. Karma intensity is more in non-veg food than vegetarian food.
Thank you. Sai Vivek is asking, Guruji, what it really means to completely surrender to Krishna?
Our ego.
Prabhuji, Priyanshu is asking, I am genuinely in trouble with this problem. Prabhuji, please tell me how to deal envy towards other devotees.
Envy can be overcome by serving that devotee.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. So we have all questions answered of all the students now. So thank you, Prabhuji, for taking out your time for all
Thank
the
you so
students.
much. I felt very nice. It would have been better, some physical get together, but due to our situation, at least some virtual association we had. Thank you so much for participating and hope to see you soon also face to face sometime. Hare Krishna.
Let us thank Prabhuji loudly by chanting 3 times. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Thank you, Prabhuji. We have students today who have joined all over the from all over the country, from IITs, NITs, and very good colleges from all over the country, engineering colleges.
Thank you so
Prabhuji.
much. And I'm
Thank you.
very, very inspired and happy by seeing so many intelligent boys taking up the message of Bhagavad Gita seriously in their lives and applying those teachings in their life. And I think Srila Prabhupada and Supreme Lord will be very, very happy with all of you. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we will end here. Just one announcement for all of you that for tomorrow, the session from His Grace Radhesham Prabhuji will be at 4 o'clock. So kindly be at 4 o'clock, not 4:30, but 4 o'clock. Till 5:30, we will have a session from Radhesham Prabhuji on the spiritual world topic. So kindly be on time. That's all for today. Hare Krishna.